Let's see. We should be back up and running. Let me text Freak and try now. Try now. Okay. We should be back. RPGrinders episode 775. We're right in the middle of it, and it's on my story now, which, my computer's not really cooperating all that great. So
welcome to chat room.
I know. Welcome. Doesn't mean it's working, but
this is our first Mad Buggy of the year.
I know, and I think it has to do with me now, but I can see break there, so that's good. Okay, this story is from RPG site, and thanks. Freak5 says we're back. Wisman's World Entry releases for the Switch. Oh, Jesus Christ, man.
World Retry.
World Retry releases for the Switch. Yeah, Retry. Releases for Switch, PS5, PS4, May 30th, Xbox One, and PC. Steam. Later in 2024.
It's a remaster of a DS game that we never got.
Yeah. Okay, great. I didn't even get a chance to look at the.
It's also originally was developed by Jalico.
Okay.
Oh, what? Really? I haven't heard that name forever.
Yeah. All right, Eric. Next story, please.
Next story is Zhuan Yuan Sword, Gate of the Firmament, announced for PS5, and Zhuan Yuan Sword 7 Switch release has got an update, because that's still happening, I guess. But I guess this means this game's like number 8, but I don't know why they just went a number. Maybe it's actually supposed to be a spin-off. Who knows? Anyways, Switch port. Let's see. It doesn't really say anything other than spring 2024.
All right. Well, I mean, at least they gave us a time frame. It's like, I hate when they just say 2024. It's like, okay, could be. Is it first quarter, fourth quarter? What are we talking?
Coming out.
Yeah, this game is coming out.
I want to play 7, but I've never found it on sale at a decent price. It's like 20 or 30% off most of the time whenever it's on sale.
What kind of game is it, Eric?
It's a turn-based RPG, I think.
Looks like action RPG. Maybe it's turn-based. I don't know.
Maybe it's a little bit of both.
Yeah. Well, those are fine with me, I guess. I'm okay with it. All right. Anything else on that, Eric?
Maybe I'm thinking of Sword and Fairy, though. But I also need to play that before it leaves Game Pass. Sword and Fairy Together Forever.
Yeah.
Which is Sword and Fairy 7.
All right.
But that's it, really.
All right. Breakman, next story, please.
Coming to us live from Yamasu, Wolong Fallen Dynasty Complete Edition launches February 6th. Includes base game and all downloadable content. So yeah, it'll be on the Microstore on February 6th and in Japan on February 7th for 7,480 yen. It does not say how much it'll be a sale for in America.
Yeah.
It'd probably be cheaper for me right now to just buy the digital version on PSN. Even though I have the Xbox version, I want both versions. I'd probably get that for PS4 and 5. And that probably only sent me back about $40 at most.
Yeah.
Because I think the DLC and the base game are on sale PSN for like the next couple of days before the sale ends.
Yeah. All right. Anything else, Eric?
Well, let's see. Do you want me to see if we can offend how many Chinese people?
No, let's not do that. No, we're good.
You don't want me to read the rest of the stories?
No. Yeah, I think we're good, man. You mean in pronunciation of names and stuff? Yeah.
I will butcher these names.
Of course you will.
It's just going to happen.
I always butcher that name of that game, Juan.
What you need to do is you need to play the game and hear the pronunciations so many times that you'll finally get it right.
That's exactly what it is, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next story. Rocket Knight Adventures Respark Collection announced for the PS5, PS4, Switch, and PC. So release date was not announced, so it's a non-story. All right, Eric, next story, please.
Actually, Yeah, there's no release date, but pre-orders for the physical release will happen on the 19th.
Okay, but they still don't tell you when it's coming out.
So you can
Yeah.
pre-order a game, you have no idea when it's coming.
Yep.
So,
But I think the digital versions are probably going to come out within the next 3 months. It just feels like that's going to happen.
Yeah. Okay.
I always hated that working in a game shop when I pre-order something and they cancel it on us.
Oh, well, it says the pre-order window ends on March 3rd, so I'm guessing probably April or May is when the game comes out.
All right, let's move on to the next story if it'll ever load up here.
But anyways,
I'm so glad I get to read the last story.
I do want to mention that this game collection comprises Rocket Knight Adventures of the Mega Drive Genesis, Sparkster Rocket Knight Adventures 2 of the same platform, as well as the SNES Sparkster. It does not include the Climax produced game that came out on the 360 PC and the PS3.
Yeah.
But you can still buy the digital version of that game on Steam and Xbox 360 at least.
Right,
but the 360 version store is going to close soon. But the only way you'll be able to buy it after that point is to get it on an Xbox One or higher.
Yeah, which is A-okay because, I mean, 360. I mean, who still plays the 360? You know, it's like, I mean,
it's not as good as the other games, but it's not bad. It just, I think the biggest problem with it is that it looks ugly.
Yeah. All right, let's move on here because my fucking computer's just doing weird shit. So let's get through this news.
But I also want to mention Felix the Cat games are also being released around the same time frame.
All right, Eric. When I say we gotta go, dude,
okay,
we gotta. All right, break, please. Next, or Eric, next story, please.
Data Live Ren Dystopia coming west in 2024 for PC. First release for the PS4 in 2020, but it doesn't mention whether or not we'll get that. But I'm guessing, based on sales, they might do that. And we might even get a Switch port at some point. But the Switch, I think, first need the first collection of games that we got on the PS4 called Ren. I think it was called Ren Revolution. Yeah.
Yeah. Skodoma says, "Are you gonna get a desktop?" Well, technically, yes, Skodoma. I'm gonna get another Mac Mini, but there are reasons for that, Skodoma. I know we cut off earlier, but yeah, I'm gonna get another Mac Mini, but it's gonna be loaded, and I'm not gonna be able to play games on it. But I'm not interested in playing games on computer. I have my PS5 and Xbox Series X for that. So,
anyways, there's some special features that come with this release. The worldwide PC release will also feature localizations of the 2 audio dramas and a short novel. And the digital deluxe edition will include a digital art collection, which is 13 pages long, with the features character and rough art collections. And the 2 audio dramas I mentioned, a physical soundtrack, which is 27 tracks, so it's an actual soundtrack. And the short novel, which I also mentioned earlier, and that's pretty much it. Otherwise, you could just buy the standard version at a reduced price.
Yeah. No, Breakman. No, I want to get an Apple because I don't want to fight with my PC, which I always do if I get a PC. So I don't want to have to upgrade and all that other bullshit.
He thinks that PCs aren't as, PCs are still a pain in the butt.
They are. They're a pain in the ass, and you always have to fix something on them, or get a different program, or do something different. Yeah, that's.
I don't always have to fix my PC.
Well, then you're special, Eric. You're one of the few people in the world that never has to do anything.
I have problems because I do have to read.
I mean, other than at the end of its life, I don't have problems with Macs, dude. That's just how it runs. I mean, that's how it goes.
Frank's just saying he's too stubborn and old.
No. I don't play games on PC, Eric. So I have no need. Listen, can you listen to me? I have zero need. I have zero. Listen to this, Eric, so you can hear it loud and clear. I have zero need to ever deal with Windows again, ever in my life, and I'm happy with that. I'm very, very happy not having to deal with Windows.
You play Lies and P on the Mac now?
I did not know that, but my Mac would not play that. So that's why I'm saying
your current Mac.
On my current Mac. If I get a new Mac, I might mess around with that, but not now. And actually, I prefer playing console anyways, any day of the week. So, all right, last story, Breakman.
I just thought it was funny that the Korean development scene would actually go to the Mac to do something.
Yeah, can we move on, Eric? Really, we need to get done with this. Break.
Eric just having so much fun, and you were taking it way too serious.
No, dude, I'm serious. Like, my Mac is just having so many problems right now, and I know we're talking about problems.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's just go.
Your Mac's got problems. My Mac's got problems. We should hurry up.
Oh, stop it, Eric! You son of a bitch. Fuck both of you guys, man. I'm walking off this goddamn show.
Coming to us live from Komatsu. Konosuba, God's blessing on this wonderful world. Love for these clothes of desire. In the West. I don't know what this game is playing.
I have no idea what you just said, Breakman.
I'm sorry. Konosuba. Konosuba.
Konosuba.
See, this is when it's fun when Breakman fucks up names. It's not fun when I'm pissed off.
God's blessing on this wonderful world. Love for these clothes of desire.
And Skodom and Breakman are fucking exiled, you sons of bitches.
Girls are going on
Fuckers.
a shopping trip.
Yeah. Fuck that. Son of bitches, man. Fuck you guys, man.
This is
all
one
right.
of the most loved isekai of all time. What's that mean?
That means in another world, trapped in another world.
Oh, okay. So like that anime Grandfather's or Wise Man's Grandfather or something like that.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Shit! What is that anime where he goes to another world and says he's a descendant?
I don't know, Breakman, but you're still a son of a bitch.
I think you're talking about the show with the old uncle dude who came back to the real world after being isekai'd.
No, because he's still in the world. He claims to be like the descent, like somebody's grandson, but he's not. He's just lying about it.
Mm.
Oh, dear Lord. Are we done with the news?
It's forever. I don't remember. Let's just move on.
Okay, are we done with the news, guys? Yes, finally.
Each character has their own spirit and special class CGs, so choose wisely and avoid making them mad.
Oh, boy.
Create mystical outfits and dress up your favorite waifus.
Ay. All right, are we done?
I think so.
Okay.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Inquiring minds finally want to know what you've been playing, Breakman, you son of a bitch.
More Dungeons 4, just a blast game. I love that, and it's more. Not to move too quickly past.
It's called Uncle from Another World, I think.
Uncle from Another World. I'm gonna have to look up. Ask Eric. I need to find this anime that I'm talking about.
It's on Netflix, and I haven't watched it yet.
I watched it on Hulu, so I know it exists. Damn it.
Fuck you, Freak 5, you son of a bitch. You're exiled too, son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's called Wise Man's Grandchild.
Oh, yeah, there was that one too.
God damn it.
Well, that's the one he said. Damn it, Eric, you son of a bitch. You know what? For the first time,
isekais and a lot of their names kind of blend together.
You know, for the first time, you all are fucking exiled. Every goddamn last one of you, son of bitches. Fuck all of you guys.
The more you complain, the longer it takes.
I'm so bad for son. I've got 99 problems, but a Mac ain't one.
Shut up, fucking bastards. Fuck all you guys, you sons of bitches. Hate every one of you, man. You know, I've had this fucking Mac for like 7 fucking years. Fuck all you guys. Time for a new one. All right.
McDonald's.
I hate all of you. You all suck. All right. What have you been playing, son of a bitch, Eric? From now on, everybody's going to be referred to as a son of a bitch.
Wait, we still need to do the PlayStation Plus game catalog.
Oh, for fuck. Oh, that's right. Okay. Homie discounts. What do you got, Eric?
Okay. This month, the January games are Hard Space Shipbreaker, Just Cause 3, Lego City Undercover, Resident Evil 2, Session Skate Sim, Shadow Tactics Blade of the Shogun, Surviving the Aftermath, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song. And the classic games for the month are Rallycross, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Don't play it, it's terrible.
Ooh, they're really going all out on the PlayStation 1 games, boy.
And I don't know why, but the classic game sections now includes like modern re-releases such as Legend of Mana and Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Edition Secret of Mana.
No, it's a great thing, Scotoma, because I don't have to put up with bullshit problems on the goddamn PC, you fuckers. Sons of bitches.
Phantom Menace on the PlayStation 1 was so dismally disappointing.
Hate all of you, every last one of you sons of bitches. What else you got, Eric? God damn it.
Okay, Frank,
Thank
I have
God.
a serious question for you.
Oh, dear
I'm
Lord.
gonna hand you a doll. Can you show us on the doll where the PC touched you?
I'm walking off this fucking show, Break, man, you son of a bitch. Alright, let's move on here. Eric, what have you been playing, you son of a bitch?
Dragon Quest Monsters 3, Ace Attorney Trilogy, and Cookie Cutter.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I am. It's at the end of its fucking life cycle, dude. Like, that's how Macs work. You don't worry about him for like 7 years, and then you worry about it. And now I'm worried about it, and I'm getting a new one. The problem's going to be solved in about a month. I've been playing Midnight Suns, and still playing it, and still enjoying the shit out of it. It's really good. I still don't... You know, one thing I don't understand about that game, Eric? How do I use the environments better? Because, like, I see these, like cranes. Do you attack...
Oh, no, since I haven't played it yet.
Oh, you don't know. Okay, well, I don't know. But, anyways. How dare you, Breakman? Breakman's exiled. Son of a
You kind
bitch.
of have to get lucky, and I think that's like one of the complaints people have.
Skotum is exiled. Son of a bitch.
It's kind of hard to take advantage of the environment.
No, I just don't know how to do the overhead environment things. I know how to do everything else, but you can't, like, target it. I'm guessing you just have to attack the crane and it works or something. I don't know. How dare you, Freak 5? You guys are all son of a bitches, I swear. All right. What have you been playing? Yeah, just Midnight Suns. All right. Let's move on to reviews.
RPGrinders reviews.
Breakman, any reviews from your neck of the woods?
I watched a couple of documentaries, and both of them just pissed me off for different reasons. Although I'm not completely done with the one, so I guess I can go ahead and give a kind of preview to it. Well, the one's called Time Bomb Y2K. It's a full documentary, and the other one's a series documentary, and it's about QAnon, and I think it's called QAnon Down the Rabbit Hole or something like that. And these documentaries pissed me off for two completely different reasons. With the QAnon one, it's interviewing all these people, and just how do they fucking fall for this shit? I mean, if they truly believe that that Hillary Clinton is in the basement of a pizza restaurant eating babies, why don't they, like, march in numbers to that pizza place?
They did. Breakman, that's the problem. There was a guy that went to that pizza parlor.
No, I'm saying a guy. I'm saying in numbers. Like, they all believe this, right? So why don't they all go and gang up together and go stop this this cannibalistic thing they claim is happening?
Yeah. Hey,
they sound just as guilty.
As an aside,
happen.
As an aside to that, Breakman, Freak 5 and Skotum are exiled. Sons of bitches.
Mac was the first computer that didn't turn him down.
Son of a bitch, Skotum. I hate you guys. I hate all of you guys, you fuckers. Alright, continue on, Breakman.
I even have a little bit of decency. I won't read that one.
Hey, Breakman, this has nothing to do with what is going on here, but you're a son of a bitch, too.
The pizza place didn't even have a basement. Like, but all these bizarre, like, how did they come to these conclusions?
Conspiracy theories reach wide, man. I mean, they reach wide. Anybody can fall susceptible to them too, Breakman. Because how many times have you heard wives' tale? You grew up hearing wives' tales, right?
I'll actually get to that, Frank.
Oh, okay.
That's why I'm pissed off about the other document.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'll get to that actually.
Okay.
So these people are falling for like these Q posts where they'll put something like really vague comment online, and like his people look at it and they come up with some of these weird, crazy, bizarre theories. It's completely asinine.
Like the dying in threes thing. Like, oh man, they always go in threes. Well, you could say that about anything. You know, like 3 celebrities dying. Like, what's the time frame for that? A year? Well, more than
like
3
10
people.
Celebrities died, but you only counted 3.
Yeah, you only knew of 3.
No, right? That's 3 groups of 3, and then 1 extra.
Right, 1 extra, just because, you know. It's like these people that take the like numerical parts of the Bible and they try to interpret numerics. Like it's so bizarre, man. All right, continue on, Break. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So far I haven't watched all of the episodes, but I recommend it because the guy's trying to understand. He really is trying to like be nice to these people. Like he's way more patient than I could ever be.
Yeah, patience isn't either of our strong suits, Break.
I'm like, once they start talking about eating babies, I'm like, what the fuck? Then why don't you go do something about it?
Well, I don't want anybody going out there like that wackadoo that went to that pizza joint, dude. Like
There were a couple. There was one guy who went with the gun, like was really going to storm the place, and there was another guy who went in with a camera and was like recording all this stuff, like how creepy it was there.
Well, he could record that. That's fine. Well, it's a private business, so he's got to be careful.
It's up to the business whether he can do it or not.
Yeah,
because it's their choice. But like, so he was just like saying everything. I think they told him to leave at one point too, actually, because he was like creeping out other customers.
Yeah.
So anyway, I recommended it if you can stomach the insanity of these people, because you hear the numbers, like there's millions of downloads and there's thousands of people believing this stuff, and it's just why, how?
You know, strength in numbers, Break. You know, it's like cliche to think of that. You know, but if you go along with everybody, then you have strength in numbers. You know, but continue on, Break.
The next one was called Time Bomb Y2K.
Okay.
About the Y2K, and this one pissed me off for completely different reasons. They treated Y2K like it was legitimate.
Yeah.
I worked in computers at the time. I was selling computers. Y2K was the most overblown thing that has ever happened.
No doubt.
In the history of this world. Like, there was never a chance that it was ever going to be a problem.
No, never. Never, ever. There was nothing. Nope. Yeah.
None.
Nothing.
Yeah. Like, anybody who worked with computers, who sold computers, who was in the industry could tell you, there's no problem. It's not going to be this big deal that they're making it out.
But you know what? Actually, some stores tried to capitalize on that, Break.
No, not some. All.
Yeah, they were like Y2K proof and all this shit on the computers. You know, it's like they were even selling microwaves like that. You know, because microwaves, you have the built-in timer and all that shit. It's like, I mean, really, Y2K compliant. How many stickers did you see like that, Break, at the time?
Like, I was in sales during for the first from 97 through 2000. 2001. I was selling computers, and I had to answer the Y2K question so many fucking times. You gotta tell people, like, there's nothing wrong. There's not going to be a problem. Windows was updating the software for that. Like, if you buy a new computer, it's going to update your dates fine. Even if it didn't, it's not going to crash your computer. It's not going to crash the internet. It's not going to cause power plants to explode. None of that shit's going to happen. And the guy who started all this was interviewed, like, I should say, none of the footage was current. Like, they didn't interview anybody today on it. It was all from past interviews. So the guy who started it was freaking out, like, we're not doing enough. And then, once it turned out that so many people were bought into this horror story and were freaking out about the future, and a lot of bad shit were happening, which they did not talk about in the documentary, which really pissed me off too. Like the people who, for instance, guys who, it happened numerous times, people killing their families because they're afraid of what was going to happen. at the millennium because of this fucking scam.
Well, this isn't new, Breakman. There's a lot of like prophecy people, right?
Yeah.
Especially like in religion, right? They'll say, "Oh, the world's going to come to end in 2025," right? And they come up with some cockamamie bullshit. I'm not saying this is all religious people, but it usually
and there are people that have done it repeatedly. Like there's one guy who's predicted in the world like 5 times now.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
people still follow him,
and they come up with excuses why it didn't happen, right? I mean, you can do that too, in as long as you live, right? I mean, just as long as the money rolls in. I mean, that's another thing about these assholes. Like
that's what they do with Q too. They just anything that they don't like, they just excuse it. They find up another excuse for it. Like they do these mental gymnastics that are just crazy to me.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, man. Scotama says money is for nothing and the chicks are free.
Like, it got so bad. Like the guy who first started the scare was towards the end of it saying, "No, calm down. We've taken care of it. It's not a problem."
Right. Right.
Like the guy who started it.
Yeah.
Like, you're a piece of shit, dude. Like you ruin lives.
Right.
With
right.
Wild stories about the world ending.
My RPG. Yeah. No, I know people were freaked out.
Documentary treated it was like it was legitimate and like that they did solve it and stuff.
Right. And it was funny. It was funny, Breakman. Like I remember New Year's Eve, right? And I was watching intently to the New York one, and I was like, I wonder what people are gonna say now once it turns over and nobody died. It's like well, I'm not saying nobody died because obviously somebody somewhere.
There were deaths associated with it because of the scare tactic.
Right. But I'm
the religious people talking about the end of the world, and then you had this guy talking about the end of the world by science.
Right.
Like people were afraid.
Right. No, I what I mean, Break, is like the world didn't come crashing down. Once the ball hit and it became the year 2000, right? In other words, it wasn't this.
What happened was probably this is what was going to happen. This is the worst possible scenario. In Japan, there were a couple of nuclear power plants where there was a software error.
Yeah, and it didn't melt down.
Nothing. They fixed it right away. Like that's what was going to happen. That's it.
Right.
Nothing. The world was never going to end.
No, it wasn't.
Y2K is the biggest scam that has ever perpetrated on this world.
Yeah, it was funny because I was watching, like I said, intently just to see if there was any mayhem in New York, right? Like because it would go from New York to here, right, to the West Coast, and it was like nothing happened. It just was another year. And everybody. Matter of fact, I remember Chris Jericho fucking capitalizing on that in wrestling, Breakman. Do you remember that?
Right.
Y2J. Like the whole thing was Y2J.
I don't know. The show I was watching, they started like in Australia, like when their New Year's happened, like in Japan, Australia, and like just going across the globe, and we're seeing there's some computer glitches that didn't affect anything. Oh, that's it. Oh, look at that! The world isn't fucking ending.
They made it sound apocalyptic, like you were gonna, like, the lights were all gonna go out and everybody's gonna be crashing into everybody and the satellites were gonna be fucked up. There was gonna be no communication. It was like, it's crazy, just fucking crazy. So what do you give that documentary?
I get that doc a 1.
A 1? Wow. So you're
not recommended. It's a bunch of lies. It's old video footage. And it never addresses any of the real problems caused by the conspiracy, and it never addresses the fact that like nothing happened.
Okay.
Not really. Like at the very end, it's like, oh look, the lights are still on, we're all good. But it was right after they played the clip of him saying, "Oh, we fixed it."
Wow, congratulations, Y2K fanatical pieces of shit. All right, anything else, Break?
No, that's it.
Did you have any reviews, Eric? I didn't see any on the list here.
No.
Okay.
I didn't put any on the feed either because I never got around to it.
Okay. I have a couple. Do you want the documentary first, or do you want the movie?
Since I did 2 docs, go on with the doc.
Okay. I watched a documentary called Don't Fuck with Cats. And,
oh, I heard about that. I couldn't watch that.
You should watch it, Breakman.
No, I can't.
You should. It's a great documentary, and it's a triumph of people, like, being internet sleuths, doing what cops should do, in tracking down and finding pieces of shit. And when I talk about a piece of shit, this guy was an absolute piece of shit. All right.
That's why I can't watch it.
I know but the end result break is worth every second that you watch this. It's there's only a few parts that are hard to watch because of the death of cats and dogs and one person. But if you can stomach that, which I know is really really tough, it's great. Break. It is a great documentary. And what happened to this guy is pretty perfect. And the way that he was caught, where he was caught, everything matters. This was a modern day Kaiser Sose. If you guys don't know that reference, that's to Reservoir. No, not Reservoir Dogs. Yeah, Reservoir Dogs with
Usual Suspects.
Usual Suspects. That's right. I'm sorry. I get my movies confused every once in a while. But this guy was a literal Kaiser Sose and was evading people left and right. But these fucking two people, right? There was more than two, but these two people in particular, Deanna from Las Vegas and John Green, I don't know if that's his real name, from California, they teamed up and they fucking found these little tiny clues in the videos that led to the arrest of this piece of shit. And the cops sat and did nothing, like as usual, other than arrest the guy at the very end.
That's the only way crime gets solved in this country.
Yes, that's the only way. You're right. Only 2% of crime gets solved in this country, Breakman, and that 2% is mostly solved by regular citizens like you and I. That's it. That's there you go. Freakfight says I want a remaster of Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Yeah, okay. So Don't Fuck with Cats I highly recommend watching it. There are parts that are hard to stomach, but it's worth it in the end. It is a great documentary, and these people are fucking awesome. Those two people. So I give that documentary a 9 out of 10. The only reason I didn't give a perfect 10 out of 10 is because I can't stomach some of that shit either, Break, at all. But it was worth it. It really was worth it, and I highly recommend people watch it. The second,
I can't before anybody says, "Oh yeah, well, what about people?" Yeah, I can't really stomach watching people get hurt either like that.
Yeah, it's tough all the way around.
It's different watching a football game and somebody getting tackled. Hard hits are awesome.
Yeah.
But Sid Vicious when he broke his leg.
Oh my god, that was hard to watch.
That was gruesome. I don't want to see shit like that.
I mean, I can watch it once, Break, but that's all I can stomach. I can't. People watch that shit over and over, and I'm like, oof. Can't do it, man. I just can't. Ugh. I was watching football the other day, and I don't know who it was, but it was a big time receiver was running, and he stepped wrong, and his leg kind of buckled, and when they did the replay, it looked like his knee was going inwards a little bit, and it was oh god, it was nasty. But it didn't break. It was just a sprained knee or something, but it looked horrific, man. I was gross. And Freak 5 is exiled, you son of a bitch. The second...
You don't think Mystic Quest is better than Dragon Quest 8?
How dare you, Breakman? You're exiled, you son of a bitch.
RPGs for babies, terms like that are just offensive.
Yeah.
Offend me, Break.
Yeah, exactly. Don't be offensive, Breakman, you son of a bitch.
Exiling me too?
Breakman. The next movie I'm going to review is a movie called Society of Snow. It's about the 1972 plane crash of the Uruguay rugby team in the Alps, I believe.
Oh, they made a movie about that?
They did, Breakman, and it was good.
Really?
Yes, it's really, really good, but the problem is... Here's the problem with this movie, all right? It's a really well-made, very beautifully shot, very well-directed, well-acted. Even the dubbing was okay. It's a movie in Spanish that they dubbed over to English. And if the director is B.A. or Bayona, D.A. Bayona, he directed one of the Jurassic Park newer movies, and he's a really good director, right? But the problem with this movie is it ran a little bit too long, and almost the entire time it's very depressing. but the end is really good on it. It's a good movie. It's a story about attrition, war of attrition that these, at first I think there was 30 people, ended up being 17 survived or something like that. It's a great movie. It shows how they survived, how they kept together. Obviously there's cannibalism involved, they had to do what they had to do, but they did get permission from people before they died. Like, they didn't want to do these horrible things, and the people that didn't, they died. If you didn't eat, you died. And all I can say is it was harrowing, and the three guys at the end that decide to take the final mission out of there, because it was like -80 at night up in those Alps. How these people survived, I still don't understand how any of them survived. But holy shit, it's a great movie, Society of the Snow. Highly recommend watching it. I myself can only give it an 8 out of 10 because, like I said, it ran a little bit too long in my opinion. I think they could have cut out about a half an hour of that movie and it would have been just as okay. Plus, it's mentally taxing on you if you watch it.
I think that might be because Scarlett was saying it didn't seem too long to him, and I'm thinking maybe that's why it felt too long to you. Is it was just really mentally.
It was mentally taxing. Break like for about an hour and a half of that movie, I was like feeling like so bad and terrible for these people that were trapped up in the and there was no way of like people. They did a rescue party at first. And the way that they were situated, there was no way a plane was ever going to see them. So they had to, and they survived for over 2 months. It was something like 78 days that they survived there, break. And it was crazy. And the trek, there's a point in the movie, it's not really spoilers because it's a real life thing that happened. But there's a point in the movie where 3 of the guys decide to do a final trek, right? And they get to one of the mountain peaks, and then one of the guys is like, well, we should go back, and the other guy's like, fuck that. I see over there in the distance there's a valley and there's a little bit of like non-snow there. We need to go there. And that was a 10-day trek from where they were. And all they had was 10 days worth of food to get to that point. And so he was like, fuck that, I'm going. You guys can go back. But so they sent one guy back to let the other people know what the plan was. And that's how they got rescued. Finally, somebody saw him. But it was crazy. It's a crazy movie. I highly recommend it. But it does take a toll. You do have to be mentally prepared for a movie like that. So there you go. Freak 5 is exiled because he's a son of a bitch.
So depressing through the whole thing. Like they're just watching, you're watching somebody just get beat up and tortured and stuff like that. Like I don't really like the Saw movies. Not necessarily the torture porn,
right?
But just the whole torture aspect. Like
yeah, it's not for everybody. Break. I can understand that. I'm a big horror guy, so I'm kind of desensitized to a lot of that. But when it comes to real life telling of shit like that. Ooh, it's really hard. It's really, really tough. So, you got to have a strong stomach for that one too, and fortitude to get through it. But it is worth the journey. I give it an 8 out of 10. I highly recommend that as well. Those are both on Netflix. Let's move on to everybody's favorite segment.
What is it?
Stinko of the Week.
Breakman is exiled. Breakman, your Stinko of the Week.
Okay, let me see here. I've got a few, of course. Where should I start?
Got a few.
Let me see. Max again canceled shit before it's had a chance to really get out there because they hate fun and enjoyment. They canceled Our Flag Means Death when the second season just came out last month. I mean, what the fuck? This is like when Disney got rid of Willow after 6 months. Like, what? You're not giving people a chance to see these. Didn't you put money into this? What are you doing?
Yeah, the Willow one still pisses me off.
So desperate to shave money, he doesn't even care what he's getting rid of at this point.
Yeah, Disney doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. Another one goes to the state of Florida, some of the school districts, because of the Don't Say Gay bill and some of the anti CRT, is that what it is? I forget what it's called.
Yeah, critical race theory.
Because of those laws, some school districts have now outlawed dictionaries.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a backfire.
Dictionary.
Yep, that was a backfire. Freak 5 says his stinko is snow, and he's exiled. Slagar says, I always love this section. I agree, Slagar. It's a favorite of everybody's, the stinkos. Skodma says, he's getting exiled too, you son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. All right, what else you got, Break?
Let me see here. Biden once again spending money on bombing and stuff.
Yeah.
Going around Congress to do it.
They don't care.
And I know. And our choice of presidents could be between him and Trump.
Yep.
We got a guy who wants to bomb everything, and we got a guy who wants to be king. Like,
it's no wonder that people want that people are buying those stickers in record numbers. Meteor 2024 Breakman. You know, I'm serious, dude. I mean, it's crazy. What else you
I
got?
haven't seen any of those stickers.
Well, I have a bunch.
Let's talk about the hypocrisy of Jim Jordan and his refusal to submit the subpoenas. However, when Hunter Biden showed up unexpectedly and they could have interviewed him right there, they, suddenly were, what? What are you talking about? So they had an actual chance to put Hunter Biden on the spot, and they, didn't do it because
I saw that
was never the goal. They just wanted to make Joe Biden look bad.
Now, ask me if I think Hunter Biden's not, 100%.
No, I never said he's not guilty.
Right. Right.
Nobody said. I don't think anybody's saying Hunter Biden's not guilty of shit.
Right.
But the fact is, like, they don't want him to go to prison yet because they want to keep him. They want to keep him around so they can hold him around Joe Biden's neck.
Mm-hmm.
And just like they do this with every president, they just look for somebody to blame them stuff for. If I was Joe Biden, I'd go on the offensive.
First of all, Hunter Biden's a private citizen, so what does that have to do with anything? He's not involved in any government dealings at all.
Well, and I love their evidence. Most of their evidence is from 2017 and 2018. Guess what? Joe Biden was a retired private citizen at those times.
Yep.
He didn't have access to what the Republicans were accusing him of.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, I mean, I if I was Joe Biden, I'd go out there and I'd be like, look, if you think he did something, bring him to trial. Bring out the evidence, take him to trial. I had no dealings with him and, business-wise or whatever.
We're not Biden fans. We've talked about this many times.
Mm-hmm.
If there's evidence, definitely bring it against him.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, 100%. But they don't have anything. It's just what you said, Breakman. They're using him as an albatross. That's it. Yeah. They wanted to question Hunter in private so they could lie about what. No, not that they would lie about it, Freak 5, so they could cherry pick. That's what they wanted to do. Cherry pick. You wanted to go to Red Lobster and they were closed on Tuesday because of the weather. Oh, boo-hoo, Freak 5. You son of a bitch.
This one I'm not sure if it's a stinko or more of a sweeto because it's Judge Judy endorsing Nikki Haley, and it's got a lot of Judge Judy fans going, what? And it's going me going, ha, I told you so.
Judge Judy's a piece of shit, man.
She's always been an absolute piece of shit, yeah.
Yeah.
She's a lying sack of crap who judges people based on just her opinion.
Yeah. Skodoma, you know what? That's right, Skodoma. If I was Joe Biden, I would pardon my son after his speedy trial. Why not? Why the fuck not, Skodoma? I mean, fuck, you have the power to do it. It's one of the few things that nobody can fucking really take away from you. Do it. Fucking A. Why not? It's your son. I'm sure you would do it for your son. I would do it for my son. I mean, fuck it, I mean, there you go. Hunter's guilty of what he is accused of, but these are crimes that usually are prosecuted. Yeah, I agree.
Instead of just using them as a noose to
right. That's what I said. He's like a big albatross under. Fuck that. Like, throw that aside. He's his own man.
Remember, they had him. They were gonna prosecute him, but the Republicans are like, this isn't good enough.
You know what they should hammer Joe Biden on? Being able to sustain a sentence. That's what they should fucking hammer him on. Fuck all this Hunter Biden nonsense. I mean, fucking take him to court.
Go after him for what I'm talking about. Like, he's spending tax dollars to go around Congress to bomb shit.
I know.
Killing people with our tax dollars with no accountability.
That's what but see, the Republicans won't do that because they're part of the problem, Breakman. They make money from these. They get lobbying money from these contractors.
Like Lockhart and Martin.
Lockheed Martin and Boeing and who else? There's another big one out there. Raytheon. All of them.
Website. Like they talk about being a family friendly and American values and scroll down at missiles and shit.
Whatever. Yeah. Tell that to the people in fucking. The innocent children that were killed in the NICU in fucking Palestine. Tell that to them. Their families. Fuck all you motherfucking pieces of shit traitors in Congress, man. That's what they are.
Yep.
Fuck them all.
Yep. So
right.
Back to one who wants to be in. Nikki Haley obviously wants to be in there, she wants to be VP.
Yeah, she wants to VP. That's what that's about. And by the way, Ron DeSantis is cooked. He's cooked, man.
I think his whole goal and whole plan has been like, I'm just gonna be here and hope that Trump goes to jail.
That's what he's hoping. But see, in the meantime, Nikki Haley's just been hammering away at him left and right. It's just killing him. But whatever. I can't stand Nikki Haley either, by the way.
I know, and just her, like, Judge Judy's endorsement of her and, like, so many of her fans, people that loved her and have protected her over the years, like, were suddenly shocked. Like, what?
Yeah, you're shocked by that fucking piece of shit billionaire?
Like, I watched an episode of Judge Judy where there was a poor couple, and she ruled against them because they didn't have a bank account. And she's like, I don't believe you. Everyone has a bank account. No, not everyone.
Not everybody.
At the time, less than 50% of Americans had a bank account. So she was judging based on a random opinion of hers that wasn't even right.
Well, she wasn't a real judge in those things. She was a TV judge. Yes, like, are there traitors? All those fucking people in Congress that are ripping people off, the American people, taking money left and right from these big companies, and that have no interest in helping the American people. They're traitors, no doubt. Yeah, I agree, Freak 5. Whatever. I mean, Hunter Biden's a piece of shit.
Absolutely. If he was a Republican, they would be all in for him.
What else you got, Break?
Okay, and the last one's kind of, me and Eric kind of have the same one. Actually, there's another one I almost forgot about. There are 3 transgendered candidates in Ohio who have just been kicked off the ballots because there was an obscure rule that nobody knew about having to list all of your names if you had a name change in your life.
Okay.
And if you know about transgender people, when the dead name is supposed to be like dead,
Yeah.
That's supposed to be gone and buried. But this is a rule that nobody even knew about.
Well,
so
I mean,
they're doing everything they can. Like, the Republicans have done everything they can to make sure Democrats cannot win in the state.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it used to be a purple state. Now it's definitely red.
It is a purple state. That's the thing. Most of the voters are still really. I mean, just look at the abortion amendment. Like, it heavily won.
Yeah.
And the marijuana amendment heavily won. Like, this is a purple state, but the Republican Party has turned it into a political.
See, why we're even discussing purple states or red states or blue states is beyond me, Breakman.
The whole two-party system is.
It should be multicolored states across the board, And we should have had a Democratic primary, by the way. That still pisses me off. Yeah. I don't want to vote for Joe Biden at all.
We're not going to get an option. And the Republicans are doing the same thing. I mean,
no options.
The same thing for Trump because they've all he's the best. We love him. 2
fucking zombies we got to vote for. Fuck both of them. I'm not voting. I'm not voting at all. Fuck them.
Yeah, I can't blame you. So anyway, fuck Mike DeWine. I gave him a Sweeto a couple weeks ago for vetoing something, as he rightfully should. And at the time, we said it, me and you said it, Frank. But Eric was like, no, he gets distinctive because we know what he's going to do next, which we did. But at the same time, we should commend him when he does the right thing, which was at the time the right thing. But then he decided to go and make his executive order where it's now illegal for gender-affirming care for minors and adults.
Yeah.
Grown adults aren't allowed to make choices anymore.
Yeah. I understand Eric's frustration. I don't think we gave Eric his due.
Yeah, I didn't ever want to point it out as us attacking him because
No. And Eric and I talked before we got on the stream today, and I understand where Eric's coming from. Like he was mentioning, the specialist, right? That you need. You need an endocrinologist, which Eric and I both agreed, right, Eric, that the endocrinologist probably is needed for sure. You need to know what those changes are going to do to your body, et cetera, and what better person to know than the endocrinologist, right? That's a very specialized form of medicine. I think that's okay. The psychiatrist, I don't have a problem with either, because there is such a thing as HIPAA. Like that HIPAA is ironclad. It's like attorney-client privilege, right? You can't break HIPAA and you can't break attorney-client privilege. Those are the two things that as Americans we should be very, very proud of. HIPAA and attorney-client privilege, right? The other one, the bioethicist, and the way that I put it to Eric, it's like bioethics is a thing, but in this case, it really shouldn't be brought into this whole mixture of people, quote-unquote professionals. But did we lose Eric? Eric, are you still here? I think we lost Eric. Hold on.
Shit. I thought he was just being quiet and listening like I was.
No, I think...
No, I've been muted, but I've been on my phone because my power went out.
Oh, I got you. All right, Eric. Cool.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, his power went out. So...
Oh, we had video there for a second.
Yeah, we did have video of Eric for just a second. No, but the bioethics thing, the best way I can equate it is, I don't think it could hurt. I equate it like this, Breakman, and maybe you can correct me. But here in Denver, when weed was just going to be legal and all that, before that we had medical. We were one of the first states to have medical as well. Not the first state to have medical, but in order to get that medical license, you had to go to a doctor. Well, your normal doctor, like your primary care physician, wasn't going to give you a thing stating that you needed marijuana, right? So you had to go to, like, I call him a quack doctor. He's not really. He was a real doctor. He's still here. His name is Doc Morrison. And he helped a lot of people here, like, do all the paperwork and get everything done for your medical marijuana license, right? So I think that's what this bioethics person's role in this whole thing is going to be, is just like this ancillary person in the periphery that's like, oh, I've looked at what the endocrinologist said, the psychiatrist said, and yeah, of course, go on through with your stuff. And there's like no way of knowing that because of HIPAA. Not even Mike DeWine himself can look into somebody's medical, notes without them giving up their rights, right? So that's why I'm saying, like, I'm not worried about those quote-unquote restrictions so much as I am just the overall emotional journey that these people are on themselves. I don't...
Especially since it's a 6-month waiting period.
Yeah, well,
they
that's...
don't need to wait 6 months.
That's the thing that sucks. I agree, Eric. That sucks, a 6 months waiting period. That's... you probably...
But not only that, like, he's putting these rules into effect right away.
Yeah.
We don't have the people in place to do those things.
Right.
Those jobs aren't filled yet.
Yeah, well,
It's a problem.
that is another problem, and that's a problem that he's going to have to address.
He's creating that problem.
Yeah.
Not that it matters anyways, because the House decided to just override its veto anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
Among with, like, a bathroom ban for college kids? Really?
That's weird.
They need to stay the fuck out of our colleges, for real.
They need to stay out of our lives.
I know, but I'm like we spend.
Also,
they have no business touching like public university at all.
Yeah.
Or I'm not totally. I mean, universities like a private university, like they've been trying to tell schools like UC what to do with their thing. Like no, like fucking people pay to go there.
Yeah.
You are not.
Yeah, it's a private entity. They're all about private entities, private corporations. Leave the colleges alone. I mean, fuck off. Skodoma says it's like watching the show Cops, where they only show the dumb people who don't know their rights as far as the government goes. I agree, Skodoma. No need to placate, Slagar says. And then, whatever you said, Breakman, and then there you go. Okay, Doc Holiday.
Yeah, I don't know.
That would be fun. So what else you got, Break? Anything else?
No, that's it. Just
all right, Eric.
Well, actually, no, there is.
Oh, okay.
So on top of that, like he vetoed it, Because he mostly vetoed it because of the school bill was part of it, and he didn't think like this. He rightfully said this is nothing. Like we barely have any trans kids playing sports or even trying to. Like I said before, we've got less than 20 trans athletes in this in the state.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know why.
It was never an issue, but the Republican Party decided, hey, we disagree with you 100%, and then they decided to pass the H Bill 68.
Yeah.
So not only is gender affirming care going to be, it's going to be. Eric can probably explain it better than I can.
Yeah. All right, Eric, you're up.
It's so restrictive, and so many people are not going to be able to afford the services that they're just not going to do it.
Yeah, I understand that.
And I've been reading a lot of articles about people saying that they are contemplating leaving.
Yeah. Well, that's a proper thing to do. It's like any state
we talked about that a little bit earlier, but like it's not easy to leave your home. It's not cheap to leave your home.
I agree, Brakeman.
They're making it so expensive in states like Ohio that they're forced to go someplace else because it will be cheaper to live there.
Right. Well, these are decisions that people have to make, Brakeman. Like, I'm sure. Let's say. I don't know. Let's say that you were forced to get a job that paid half of what you make now, Brakeman. Like, you would have to make a tough choice, right? You don't stay in the same house because your mortgage is so high or whatever the case is, and you might have to downsize. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's a choice that nobody wants to make, but sometimes, like, I've had to make those choices in life. You know, like I had to get rid of a beautiful home that I had at one time because they kept raising the fucking mortgage on me. I had one of those stupid predatory loans, and there was no relief for me, right? The government didn't swoop in and say, well, here's a bunch of money so you can get caught up on your fucking mortgage and blah, blah, blah. So I had to make the tough choice to short sell it at an $80,000 loss, right? Shit happens, you know? I mean, normally in real estate, you make money, you know, but in this case, I didn't. I lost a shit ton. As well as a lot of other fucking people, you know. So these are just things that these people have to overcome, and you know, hopefully they will. I mean, I feel bad for everyone like that. Break, you know. I mean, shit. It shouldn't be that way. We shouldn't have to pay for healthcare in this fucking country. No. You know. I mean, that's people tout Obamacare. Like I saw a story.
My problem with healthcare. My big problem is how it's tied to our employment. Like, healthcare should be like this is supposed to be a capitalistic country. It should be something that we have an option to, you know, just buy, really.
Yeah. Well, you do. You have choices. You can go to one of the 4 or 5 fucking big-ass health care providers in the country, Brakeman. I mean, you know, we talk about monopolies. I mean, yeah, sure, technically it's not a monopoly, healthcare, but I mean, when you got 4 or 5 companies that are offering you the same shit coverage, is it not a monopoly? You know, I mean, Bernie's got health insurance, right? We end up paying for 85% of everything anyways. What the fuck? You know, I mean, she pays a shit ton of money for fucking health insurance, and we still have to pay for 85% of everything that she gets done. So how fair is that?
My company offers me like 3 or 4 different options of that said insurance plan. I'm sure it's probably the same with her, but like you're just getting options within that same insurance plan, you know?
Yeah, and the options aren't great. Choice. Options aren't great. But Eric, you wanted to say sorry. You're it's really hard to hear you, dude.
Yeah, my parents. They're the. Maybe this will be better.
Yeah, that's okay. There you go.
Okay. Anyways, my parents are so clueless when it comes to the universal healthcare. They believe in the myth that universal healthcare is a bad thing because they somehow would get rid of private healthcare. No, if it were to become a thing, it would compete with the current private healthcare plans that exist already.
Yeah.
And the only problem would be that those businesses would probably lose out to the healthcare plan because they all suck.
Yeah, and not only that, it would save the American people.
If you're gonna cite the failing of places like the NHS in the UK, that's because the Tories have done everything to make the NHS seem like it's bad.
Right,
so
because they want to privatize it. They want to make money from healthcare. You know, I mean, look. I have friends in Canada, right? They have universal health care. And sure, it's not the greatest thing in the world, but it's better than what we got. We get shit on. And like you said, you're tied to your employment. You know, you're tied to your fucking employment, which is the worst fucking thing. And why employers want that? I think employers thought, oh, this is a way we can keep our employees and pay them shit money, right? That's what the original thought was. But now it's like, no, it doesn't work that way. People don't like being tied down by those fucking benefits, you know? I mean, it's just, it's fucking ridiculous. And Obamacare is a fucking joke, by the way. But I just saw an article that people were like touting that Obamacare has the most sign-ups in history. Well, when you get tax penalized, right, if you don't have a fucking health insurance program and you have to go to fucking Obamacare, which, by the way, is really Romney care.
That's the only choice. Like, what other options are there?
There's no other options. Break. There's none.
I saw some ads on YouTube about the Flex card.
Oh,
Like,
God.
Really?
Scotimus says Big Pharma is a monopoly, and that's true too. When you have, I mean, there's multiple companies. There's Pfizer, there's Johnson & Johnson, there's Moderna, and a few others. But really, you're right, Scotoma. It is a monopoly because they all control us, you know, and our medicines. So, you know, you have the choice of which hospital bankrupts you, Freak 5. Well, here's a little bit of knowledge, Freak 5. If you don't pay a medical bill, it doesn't go against your credit report. So, I mean, do you pay the medical bill? I mean, that's up to you, you know. Sure, they could take you to fucking court, but, you know, whatever. It is tied to employment, Slagar. Your health insurance, I mean, if you have health insurance, you're stuck to that job. Especially if you get decent health insurance. There's no such thing as great health insurance unless you work in Congress. You know, that's the thing. All right, let's move on here. We got to continue. What else you got, Eric?
My other stinkos would be that the SAG-AFTRA basically decided to make an agreement with this AI company. And they did it without any of the actors' permissions. So basically, it's actually worse off than the deal that they made with the previous strike that they had, because now they're going to basically have carte blanche to push out non-union workers and use AI to get their digital faces and voice prints data.
Oh, go ahead and
make all kinds of nonsense.
Go ahead and try that. See if those actors don't take SAG-AFTRA to court for that. And some of those actors have a lot of money, and a lot of money invested in themselves. So, yeah, good luck with that one. Let's see how that works out for you in court.
My other one would be all the stuff that Break just talked about. But other than that, there was the issue where Capcom decided that it was a good idea to use anti-cheat software, DRM, to put in there. Oh, my power just came back on. That's what the beep was.
That's right.
Who knows how long that'll last, though.
Yeah. Stay on your phone,
I'll
Eric.
try my PC up.
No. Stay on your phone, dude. You're fine. We'll write it out.
But other than that, basically it removes the ability to use mods, and it also cuts down the game speed by about 10 to 50%, depending on the game you're playing. And it was breaking some Steam decks.
Yuck.
So, yeah, I feel like some decent politician needs to like draft a bill that goes after these predatory.
That's an oxymoron.
Shit.
That's an oxymoron, Eric. There is no such thing as decent politician.
Yeah, I know.
You know.
Maybe if the crappy people that weren't in there right now, that would happen.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No, I agree,
Anyways,
man.
Like, I feel like all these companies like Enigma Pro and such that make anti-cheat software should be investigated, because it's clearly malware fronts from other countries like Russia and such. And they don't understand what these programs actually do, because they're more concerned with getting rid of the ability to cheat in a multiplayer game, even though all the games that were targeted in this attempt were single-player games.
Yeah. That's crazy. It's
And
crazy.
they shouldn't give a fuck about what people do with their PC games after they purchase them.
Yeah, they really shouldn't. I
They
agree.
weren't selling them, right? They were just modding them from themselves, right?
Yeah, it's stupid.
And a lot of people speculate this is because the cost for the DLC costumes for Street Fighter 6 were expensive, and people were getting mods for free on the PC front.
So what? Fuck it. I don't care about that. I
Some
mean,
people are finding
If
ways
you
to
don't
have fun
want
without
modding
spending
in costumes that you don't provide, why don't you try providing costumes that people want and sell them at markups that aren't ridiculous?
how about you don't sell them at all, Eric? You just include them.
Yeah, put them back in the game as unlockables.
Yeah, or not even unlockable. If you remember in Street Fighter 2 at the arcade, Eric, you'd put in your quarter and you'd click a button and you could change the outfit, right?
You could still do that, but only to a small extent.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. That's what you should be able to do.
Usually just palette change.
I think microtransactions for costume changes is ridiculous. Like, that's one of the things I hate about Midnight Suns. It's a great game, but they definitely want to monetize it and make you pay for cosmetic fucking bullshit. You know, it's like, no, I'm not buying into that. You know, Skoma says cops pull you over for a broken light and force you to pay them for noticing. If you refuse to pay them, they will kidnap you and put you in a dungeon. If you resist the kidnapping, they will murder you. Yes, that's true, Skotoma. And Slagar says, sure. And Skotoma says, I'm getting new shoes for my truck tomorrow. Oh, that's cool. That's expensive too, Skotoma. Jesus. All right, what else you got, Eric?
I need to load it up now.
I don't see anything else that you wrote there.
I don't really.
All right. Mine is real quickly because we're running out of time here. Being poor and the insurance raising rates. Almost $200 of insurance. That's ridiculous. Yeah, it's ridiculous, and there's no way out of it. I have a newer car, so you know. Sweetos. Let's move on to Sweetos, guys.
Sweeto of the week.
All right, break. Your Sweeto, quickly if possible.
I'm sorry?
Your Sweetos, if quickly if possible.
Remember a few weeks ago I talked about a woman who was being prosecuted by Ohio's asshole pieces of shit?
Yes.
Because she had a miscarriage?
Yes.
Well, the grand jury said, fuck you to the prosecutor, and, you know, there you go.
That was also one of my Sweetos, break, man, so yeah, that's a good one.
So she's probably working on suing the fuck out of the state right now, and I'm on her side all the way.
Yeah, I hope she ends up with a shit ton of money.
Yep, I do too. So she's not getting prosecuted because human beings said, what's wrong with you, fucking piece of shit prosecutor? Fuck off.
Yeah. Price of my registration for my truck was over $500. Jesus, Skotoma. That's crazy, dude. Well, you would barf if you found out how much my insurance was every 6 months, Skotoma, on my car. It's crazy bad. And it's the cheapest I can find. Okay, what else you got, Break?
That's it.
Eric, I didn't see any Sweetos on your end.
No, other than the power finally came back.
All right. The new segment's pretty awesome so far, I think, guys. I think we all had a lot of fun with that. I also had the drop charges as my Sweeto too, Breakman, for that woman. Hope the best for her. Yes. But the new segment, I think, is pretty good. And speaking of the new segment,
you've reached the panic zone.
Try over double that for mine, Skotoma. All right, Breakman, you had the panic zone this week. What you got for us?
Okay, so you wake up in a hotel room. You have no idea how you got there, why you're there. You don't know where it is. So you get up and you do your normal things. So, you know, like shit and piss and take a shower, stuff like that, and you turn the TV on, try and find out where you are, and you find out you're thousands of miles away from home. You have no idea how you got there, but at that point you decide to go down to the lobby and find a way to the airport. You go to the airport and buy a ticket, and you wait for hours and hours and hours. before you finally get a flight and head home. You have to get a taxi or an Uber, whatever, and you finally get to the front door. You open the front door and you find that you are awake in the hotel room, laying in bed again, as you are trapped in a time loop. What do you do, Frank?
Ooh, this is good. I probably make some phone calls.
Groundhog Day, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
I make some phone calls first, Breakman, like because you could still make phone calls, right, wherever you're at.
You realize you're in a time loop at that point because you wake up in the same fucking hotel room.
Well, I mean, obviously, I'm watching a movie similar to that right now. It's not very good. It's with Danielle Harris called Inoperable, but yeah, I think I'd make some phone calls, dude. First of all, I'd be like, Freak 5, do you still have both your kidneys? I mean, you know what I mean, like, so I mean, call your family members maybe and see what their thoughts are. Like, you know, I mean, more brains on this than one is probably a good option. So that's, I mean, make some phone calls and you know, hope for the best, man. But again, you'd probably do the same thing over and over and over. You're in a time loop, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You gotta figure out how to get out of a time loop, and like I've seen so many time loop movies that the answer isn't always as simple as, you know, doing the right thing.
Right. Well, like I said, I would try to figure out what the fuck is going on by making some phone calls. If that didn't work, you do some logical things, right? I mean, since it's a loop, you're going to be able to figure out when you checked in at that hotel room. If you have any clothes there, like, are they your clothes? Are they someone else's clothes? Like, you pick up little clues here and there, you know, kind of like a Groundhog Day. You know exactly what's going to happen at any, you know, turn. You know that when you get back to your house, you're going to end up. So maybe you do something different. Maybe you go to a friend's house. Maybe you go to your parents' house. Maybe you go to, you know, a siblings or something first. I mean, you gotta try different things, man. I mean, to break that loop. I mean, it's not an easy thing, man. It's like an alternate reality type thing, right? Break. So
they're the only one who knows. Like, you are living the same day over and over again, but for everybody else, it's the first time.
I mean, you could look at it cynically like that, or you could look at it as a blessing. I mean, you could go anywhere in the world you want and spend a little bit of time there, right? Or you could just enjoy where you're at. Like if you're, let's say you're in France, I mean, go to the Eiffel Tower and, you know, I mean, experience all that. You can experience all the thrills of
specifically vague, so you can be like wherever you want to be.
Right. So I mean, like I said, you can have fun. I mean, you could try to rob places, you know. I mean, you could be basically Breakman in real life, you know, like you could
reenact in GTA.
No, like I said, like you could try different things just for the thrill. I mean, you know, you're gonna end up in the same fucking place although I wouldn't try death. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't try to kill myself or try to get killed, but
yeah,
you know,
it'd be like Happy Death Day where you do that too many times and you won't come back from it.
Right. So that's why, like, I would try daring things, like, you know, like maybe a robbery to find the thrill of that, but not where you're gonna kill somebody. You never plan on killing anybody, you know. But you know, stuff like that. That's what I would do. Try all the drugs, Freak 5. I did 100, bro. 100, Freak 5. Yes. Yeah, there you go.
What about you, Eric?
I just play a different video game every day.
You're trying to escape the loop. He's just taking advantage of it.
Hell yeah, dude. The one day and you get all your backlog done? Fuck yeah, man. I could see that. That's actually really
fun. The problem is if the game's more than, say, 24 hours long, you're not going to be able to beat it.
Well, that's why you stick with the smaller games.
Yeah, you get through all your small backlog of games, you know. Shit like that. Bang all the hookers in each city I'm in. Yeah, see, there you go.
Or you could just use your credit card to buy a game that you were curious about. And then not have to worry about it the next day because it'll be reset.
Right. So you're like, oh, that's an idea. You can buy it every day, right? Oh, but you would lose your progress, you know. The same game, but you would lose your progress. That's
now if it's like say an old NES game, like there's passwords. So
well, I mean, yeah, maybe something like that.
Password.
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, I guess.
Discussion.
But all right, what about you, Breakman?
Oh, me, I'd try and find a way out of the loop. I'd try and figure out how I got into it, why I'm in it. If it's because I have to be a better person, I would try. Well, one of the things I would do is look back on the night before and try and figure out, like, why am I in this?
So
what did I do?
let me ask you this
Did I piss
question.
somebody off? Did I walk into a science experiment?
Yeah.
What did I do?
Yeah. So let me ask you this question, Breakman. Does the loop only start over when you go back to your house?
It'll start over at the end of the day.
At the end of the day. Okay, so it's a groundhog.
But
deal.
or if you go to your home, or if you go home. So those are the only two ways to reset it, other than to find your way out of it.
Ask Hunter
Go
Biden what
home
type
or-
of hooker is best to smoke crack with. How dare you, son of a bitch. That's funny, man.
I mean, you gotta ask an expert if you want to know, right?
Yeah, I guess. He is an expert at crack and hookers, so, So, yeah, well, I could understand your reasoning, Break. Like, you got to try to figure out stuff.
I want to be like a better person, so I would take advantage of, the situation people are living their lives and you don't know that much about them, get to know about them and their lives, and you can predict what's going to happen. Well, because you've seen it, you'll be able to make their day better.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, no, that's
That makes sense.
I like it. I like this. So, are you guys digging this panic zone? Because I am, man. I like it. It's mental gymnastics in a good way. You know what I mean? So, what do you think, Break? You liking this?
And if I couldn't figure a way out, I think I'd probably start to crack a bit.
Yeah. Well,
start to do crazy shit just because.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, do stuff like rob a bank. I mean, why the fuck not? I mean, you spend a night in jail, you wake up the next morning, you're in your fucking hotel room. That's
before midnight. Make sure you install all the cops. Fuck you, fucking bitch ass trick.
I know. You got to be careful though, because cops.
About it, bitch.
Yeah, you got to be real careful because cops will kill. So.
Yeah, I know. I said wait until about midnight. And
fuck you, you piece of...
midnight, you're gone. You're safe.
Yeah. Just say everything. You could like call people that you hate and tell them why you really fucking hate their guts. There's a few people like that I would like to do.
Oh God, yeah, you can go get revenge on the people you hate in your life.
Oh God, yeah.
And just fly over to their home. Hey, remember when you used to pick on me in high school? Bam!
Yeah.
Right in the nuts.
Yeah. I mean, you could get away with murder. I mean, because the next day it would reset, right? So you wouldn't technically murder anybody.
Still, even knowing it would reset, that's still I don't think that'd be an easy thing to do.
I agree. I would feel kind of bad. Punch your boss. Yeah, see, there you go, Freak 5. Now you're thinking. Learn so many skills. Yeah, see, that's the thing. You could be like yeah, you could be like a groundhog vampire, Breakman, and you could learn how to like play any instrument. Like no matter how long it took you, you could learn how to like do business. You could get any amount of degrees. Call people you hate, Slagar says. Yeah, there you go. Call them and tell them how much you fucking hate them, Slagar. So yeah, there's lots of things you could do in that scenario, Breakman. It's not all bad. It's not all nefarious.
Or if you guys are going with like hating and revenge and stuff like that, and I said revenge too, but like you could go learn about like supermodels or something like that. Like stalk them for a few days.
Stalk them.
So you've learned enough information to approach them, and learn more information to go on.
Well, yeah, you could learn what they like, what they don't like, and maybe become a better,
This is supermodels because I went to stalking right away. I don't know.
Oh Jesus.
Not like maybe the friend you've always wanted to. Like,
I got you. Like learn more about that person and.
You can work on seducing him over the course of the day. Takes you like 50 tries, but you get
it. Exactly. Bang your boss's wife, Freak 5 said. Depends on how hot she is, Freak 5, But
Not really. I mean, you're gonna reset the day anyway, so if you regret it, you don't have to regret it.
Break.
You still have the memory, so I guess that's
Yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, like I like the idea of like being like almost an immortal. You know, like you relive the same day every day, and you learn all kinds of shit. And then when you come, if you ever get out of this fucking loop, you know, then you have all these fucking skills and all this money, and all potential for money and shit. You know, that'd be badass. You know, can you imagine that? Like, Breakman, you're in a time loop, right? And then you get out of it, and you're like Eddie Van Halen level of guitar. you know what I mean? Like it would be badass, dude. Like the next day, you just like are badass. You know? I don't know.
Or it'd be the one time, like the loop ends the night after you've robbed the bank.
Oh yeah, that would suck.
You know, like the cops are at your door when you wake up in the morning, like, oh fuck me.
Yeah, that wouldn't probably be a good idea. Like if you were close to ending that loop and you figured out shit, like that would probably be not the smartest thing. But like I said, learning how to play guitar or piano or any number of instruments, so there you go.
Maybe learn, like, go down into the homeless camps and find out what you can do. Like, I'm sure with infinite time, you can find some way to help.
Oh, yeah. You could gain a lot of knowledge that way. A lot of knowledge. Let's say this happened for 100 years. Can you imagine a break? Like, you all the skills you could learn and all the information that you could gather,
Yep.
Thinking about it that way, it just might be, you might figure out a lot of shit, So.
Yeah, in my scenario too, it's like you have enough money to hop on a plane. You can hop on a plane and go anywhere you want. Even though it's a new day for you, even though it's the same day for you, you go to a new place and it's a new day.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like you could go to all over the world. You just take a plane there. There you go.
Okay, yeah, exactly like that. Then,
yeah. Yeah, so there you go. I think that was a fabulous panic zone scenario, Breakman. Next week, Eric is going to come up with a panic zone scenario. And you could contact me, Eric, if you're having trouble. Are you still there?
Yeah.
All right. But see,
copy a movie plot.
Look, I didn't intend for these to be think pieces, Eric. So, like, you could just come up with something simple. You're at a supermarket and you see a really hot girl or guy, whatever, and you know that they looked at you and they were interested, and what do you do then? Something like that. It doesn't have to be too thoughtful or anything, Eric. It could just be anything. You could rob the same bank every day.
You go with is you just arrived at this giant skyscraper Japanese building, and you find out your wife's been kidnapped by terrorists on the top floor.
The Die Hard version.
Just happened to be an ex-cop named John McClane.
Yeah, have a few laughs,
What would you do?
Yeah, just become John McClane, man. All right, I think that was fabulous. Let's do our plugs and get the hell out of here. Breakman, your plugs, please.
You could rob the same bank every day and try to beat your record invading the police.
Yeah, you could learn how to pick locks. You know what I mean? Like you could learn.
You know what I would learn?
Oh God, learn how to play harmonica. You know what you would do, Break? You would go on YouTube and fucking finally learn how to play that son of a bitchin' thing, man. All right, what do you want to plug, Break? I love it, man. No plugs? Okay. Eric.
I'm not going to plug getting no power again.
Yeah. No power sucks. Yeah. We could barely hear you, Eric, so let me do your plug. Let me do your plug, Eric, since, we can barely hear you. Make sure you check out Eric's Patreon page on his Twitter profile, @EricRPG, and it's also his Blue Sky profile, @EricRPG. He also writes for Boston Bastard Brigade, and he also puts reviews on the feed. He didn't do any this week, but last week he put a few on there, so make sure and check those out. And anything else I missed, Eric?
Oh.
All right. You could check me out on my other channel, Mexican Longhair, on YouTube. You can check me out on any of the systems. Frank Branches on any of the systems. You can find me, or RPGrinders. I think either or will get you there. What else? Make sure to check out Society of the Snow if you have the stomach for it. And Don't Fuck with Cats. I know, Break, it would be really tough for you to watch, but those parts are few and far between. But it's worth the watch, Break. I think you would, at the end of that, Break, man, I think you would be like, yeah, like I was. Like I would, I felt invigorated at the end of that series, even though there were parts that were tough to watch. But Breakman is exiled, you son of a bitch. Break 5 is exiled too. I'm going to plug Bernie's OnlyFans. Hold on, I gotta scroll up. This week she is a voyeur. Watch Frank film his OnlyFans while he has sex with his man. How dare you, Freak 5, you son of a bitch. You could go streaking and see how long before the cops catch you. But that would be kind of painful. I wouldn't want to be tackled or anything like that.
Well,
but
like I said before, just do it close to midnight. So when they're about when they get close, make sure it's just right about midnight.
right, like 5 minutes before midnight or something, Yep. But all right, that's all we got for this week. You guys have anything else?
The countdown New Year's Eve, you're sitting there swinging your ding around. 9,
That would be pretty funny. Right in the middle of Times Square, man. That would be fucking funny as fuck, man. Yeah.
Helicopter right in the middle of Times Square,
You're like right behind Ryan Seacrest swinging it around, It's like, I mean, Ryan Seacrest like what, 5'2"? I don't know. All right, that's about it. You guys have anything else before we leave?
I think it's weird. Like most Hollywood celebrities are really short.
Yeah. Like,
I've never met one.
Did you ever see the movie Premature? That's you every day, Freak 5, All right, that's all we got for this week. Stay safe this week. We want to see you back here next week. Oh, by the way, I will be getting a new intro and outro soon, Breakman. So I heard you, and yes, New Year, we need a new intro and outro. So anyways, take care. See you next week. Stay safe. We'll see you next week. Later, everybody. Your day would only be minutes long, Break. That's funny as fuck. Hey, thanks to everybody in chat. Really appreciate you all. You guys rock and putting up with this bullshit today. So thank you guys so much.